You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Enjoy the video.
Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming. It's of you on Twitter, the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you with a Let's Play episode of Conway, Julian's Path. Yeah, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go. Samuel, can you come over? Can you come with me for a moment? Samuel cocks his head slightly to the right while raising the opposite brow in an inquisitive look, his ears now trained on the sailor as he draws close. What for? The mustelid closes the last few meters between you, and he stops abruptly with an unexpected grace for his size. I just need a pair of hands real quick. We notice a sheet is almost through and need someone to help patch it up. Samuel looks back at you three for a second before turning back to face him. I guess I'll manage without me for a second. Alright, which one is it? Your ears perk up as you overhear the conversation. Something other than cleaning the deck. Maybe you can tag along with them? Stay here and keep working with Wolf and Julian. You heard him. I'll be right back. Keep doing what you're doing. If you need more water, just pull it up with the bucket I used. Got it. Just be careful not to let go of it. It's quite the harsh pull when it catches the water. It's not easy to get it out again, either. So just don't make a fool of yourself and end up empty-handed. We'll keep that in mind. Are you coming? Yes, don't rush so much. It's bloody morning. And so the three of you are left to yourselves as Samuel follows the sailor across the deck of the ship. It sounded urgent. I wonder what's going on. Hopefully nothing major. Nothing as exciting as it sounds, I'd assume. You're not missing out. He stays focused on his work as if trying to tell you that you should do the same. It doesn't have to be exciting, He looks over at you tiredly. You're not quite sure if it's the early hour of the day or you that's the cause for his expression. Things on a ship are always wearing out. They'll just replace something as they'll do hundreds of times in the future. Just get on with it. You focus on your work as you're told, every now and then glancing back aft at the ship, wondering if you should have asked to go with Samuel. It's just a spanker. Who's that? You pick up Wolf's snort of laughter, so quiet that you almost miss it. Julian grins and points toward the stern and the mess of rigging between you and the sky. The what? The big sail at the rear. Oh! You feel rather stupid not knowing something probably so obvious, however Julian doesn't seem to mind. Peeking over your shoulder, you look at it, trying to figure out just where the damage is on the sail. Looks fine from here, doesn't it? It doesn't look worn at all. The main sheet is. You listened to them, didn't you? They mentioned it. Oh, right. You chuckled defensively. From what I heard, though, they lengthened the boom on the ship a while ago. The ship wasn't designed for it. That's what my father said anyway. That sounds bad? It's safe. It just means that the blocks weren't designed for that much sail, and it wears out the sheet. But replacing things is just part of life at sea. And since we might need to attack later, they're probably in a rush to get that sorted out. You really know a lot about all this. Julian, from your father? It appears like he taught you a lot. A moment of silence settles between the two of you, and you realize that you may have sounded a bit too enthusiastic asking that question. You notice that his expression changes slightly and feel the need to quickly append anything. I just mean that you maybe wouldn't... Sorry, I was just impressed by it. It's fine. He was just very proud when he finally had a ship for me to sign up to, after everything. So you know. It still wasn't joining the Navy, you know, like he did, but... Julian shrugs dismissively and concentrates more on the work again while talking. Finally, his son's becoming a real man at sea. Conway this, Conway that, being trained under a former military officer. Is he mimicking his father's tone dismissively, or do you detect an actual bit of pride in his own accomplishments? Now she sailed to India, even the Americas. And I assume you just more or less nodded along. Yes. Well, you two get back to it. I didn't realize that I signed up to do the work of you two as well. Julian picked up his pace a little and you follow suit. I guess we should. The three of you make fairly decent progress. It's something glamorous, but then it doesn't have to be. You might even feel useful, especially knowing that it's not just busy work. Still, when some movement in your periphery catches your attention, you look over at once. Someone is walking towards you. For a fraction of a second, you think it might be Samuel coming back, but the fuzzy silhouette at the corner of your eye is much too tall for that. However, once you look, you realize it's the passenger from yesterday. Nomax was his name. Isn't that from yesterday? Julian looks at you to get confirmation that he isn't mixing anyone up, and you nod in return. Yes. Appears that he's feeling better today. So, no entertainment for us today? That's just mean, Julian. Hey, you gotta admit, that was pretty funny. It kind of was, yeah. I'm with the lizard. See? You're just bound to have to live with it if you stick out in some way, like on a ship like this. Don't I know that? Is that where the wimp moniker comes from? You lift your hand to rub the backside of your head. Look, you remember how there was a commotion shortly before I came up to you two yesterday? That might have been caused by me. Arthur did not appreciate it. Of course. How in the world did you manage that? Julian gives you an inquisitive look. You know that crane they had? I may have stood underneath it. By accident, of course. I just was a little distracted. Can't blame Arthur there. I feel like it might have been you I feel like it might have been you when you waltzed up that gangway a minute later. At least now I have the confirmation. You really are the greenest of greenhorns. Julian says with a laugh and gives you a playful nudge against the shoulder. Did you prepare at all for this? Not really. I mean, how would I? On a farm. I didn't exactly prepare either, so he's not alone. Yeah, but see, you feel like you just get stuff done. Intimidatingly so, with an air of being an asshole, but you do. Wolf snarled, yet let it peter out into a low, almost imperceptible grumble. Oh, good morning, gentlemen. The voice interrupts the three of you. Thank you. You turn to face him and see the painted dog standing tall next to the three of you. Hello, sir. Good morning, sir. If I'm not mistaken, you were the one I met yesterday, am I correct? He looks down at you with a pleasant smile as you sit up on your knees. Indeed, sir. Are you feeling better today? He nods briefly before looking out at the sea. So far, so good. I figured I would try to take in the air, as it were. The breeze of the morning. Get out of the dank cabin. I believe... doing a wrong voice for Nomax. Excuse me. I believe they call this getting your sea legs, do they not? Something I am sure you all managed much more gracefully. Thank you again for yesterday. You wave him off with a quick gesture of your hand. Don't mention it. Come the first storm, we'll all be feeling differently, I expect. Julian interjected with a subtle laugh. Ah, if it were possible for the painted dog to turn green, you think he might well do so. He certainly doesn't appear to appreciate that potential scenario brought to his attention. I hope we can avoid those. Who are these two other gentlemen, James? Your ears perk up as you introduce both Wolf and Julian. We're all the new crew, so of course we got settled with this. I see. Well, Julian, Wolf, it has been a pleasure meeting you two as well. However, I do not want to keep you from your work. Pretend I am not here. I don't think anyone minds the distraction, sir. I don't know about that. Well, Wolf might, but he can just pick the other side of the deck if it's a problem. Wolf huffs annoyedly and continues with his work. My apology. Don't mind him. He's just playing it up to be the big bad wolf. I'll bark, as they say. Will you just keep your mouth shut, lizard? See? Julian chuckles confidently. Well, I guess the tone between sailors is supposed to be rough, so you three have that one down already. That's one way of putting it. Nomax clearly looks a little uncomfortable in his position, appearing to feel as if he's the one causing the tension between Julian and Wolf. And his solution, it seems to be to shift the conversation in another direction. Oh, did you know we have a piper aboard? I could have sworn I heard one anyway when I was taking tea. Did you? I imagine that. I did. The March of the British Grenadiers, I believe. You notice the surprise in Julian's eyes as he realized that Nomax had recognized it. It was, yes. Nomax picks up on the excitement of the lizard as well and managed to put two and two together. Was it you who played it? It is an older piece. I'm surprised that you would know it. I enjoyed your rendition of it. Rather more spirited than what they would play it in the than how they would play it in the army. Yes, well, it's not my fife, it's his. But it was me who played it. The tip of Julian's tail flickers across the deck as he points in Wolf's direction. Two musicians, then. He smiles down at Julian. It really was nice to hear. Though an odd choice for you to know how to play, I have to admit. Though I do prefer the The Liberalero March, when it comes to marching pieces, if I am honest. Nothing against your playing, of course. It was quite wonderful, but the Liberalero March has such an interesting history to it. A rather exquisite dance piece that found its way into the military, written by Henry Purcell 100 years ago. He had a few other really quite wonderful compositions. The Dido and Aeneas opera is probably my favorite. Or perhaps King Arthur, or... His ears flick up stiffly as he realizes the lack of reply from either of the others. Pardon me, I may have gotten a bit carried away. The painted dog stays for a bit of small talk, beyond that, but he seems to have places to be. Or he wants to let you get back to work without the distraction for your own benefit. After he'd bid you farewell, you get back to scrubbing the deck. The morning wears on slowly until the sound of urgent footsteps draws your attention. You turn to see a sailor running towards you, a more experienced deckhand by the looks of it. Oi! One of you, we need a hand! Three of you look at one another as if to figure out who needs to go. Wolf shrugs and turns back to his work, having an interest in volunteering. Quick like, eh? Come on now, you do talk, don't you? You're the first one to speak. Yes, sir, what do you need? You get to your feet as you answer, feeling the tingling in your legs as they finally get proper blood flow again after kneeling down for such a long time. Come along, then! He beckons you towards the ship's interior and immediately starts to move towards it quickly. He hurries as you try to catch up, weaving around some of the barrels stored up here and down the stairs. What's going on, sir? Why the hurry? Don't sir me, we're not in the bloody Navy. Not that you look like you know. Came in on the last stop, didn't you? Yes, sir. Yes, sorry, I'm new, yes. Is it the main sheet? The sailor stops in his tracks and gives you a questioning look. What do you know about that? Just that it was worn. Your answer doesn't appear to have satisfied his curiosity. Another sailor mentioned that it needed mending. I heard the... You try to remember what Julian said, uncertain why the sailor is looking at you the way he is. With the new sail, the sheets get worn more than usual on the blocks. Sammy went to go help with that while we were all swabbing the deck, but he went by himself. I didn't go. You trail off, realizing how obvious of a statement it is. Anyway, the sailor stares at you for a few seconds. Why would I care about that? I don't care what you know about the sail. I mean, if you know anything about the value, suppose that was lucky of you to not go. Poor bastard. Oh, shit. Me? Not you. Samuel. The surgeon needs someone to help her clean water and bandages around and whatever else she needs while she patches him up. He starts walking again, obliging you to follow along. They mentioned that you were free and we need the experienced crew up top with the spanker reef the way it is. Now, someone else has to go fix it, and, well, any of you can fetch water and hold bandages as well as anyone. Your steps lead you down further into the ship, down the stairs from some common areas. Wait, is he? Samuel... Wait, is he hurt? Were you not paying attention? He stops at one of the doors in the dark bowels of the ship. Just get in and Regia will get you sorted. I'll have to get the others again. With equally hurried steps, he makes his way up the stairs again and leaves you alone in front of the door. You knock softly on the door, two sharp taps that are met with a momentary pause before a response rings out. Come in. As you open the door, you step into the cabin and find Samuel seated near the back wall. He leans against a table, his face showing signs of discomfort, but there's also a hint of relief in his expression as he sees you. Samuel manages a faint grin. Hey, thanks for coming. Guess who's gonna have a new scar? You chuckle softly, glad to see Samuel being taken care of. Regia looks up from her work and smiles warmly as you enter. We're just finishing up here. Despite how he acted, Samuel's not actually losing his leg. He'll be fine with a few days of rest. How's he doing? Regia finishes, wrapping the freshly stitched wound with a bandage. Alright, y'all, I'm actually going to pause it right there. Thank y'all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout-out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank y'all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silver, and thank you going above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. Thanks to our two gold tier patrons, Zeke and Toby. Y'all are awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to Ultimate Tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to all of our on-safe for work contents as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I shall see you all in the next video. Bye-bye!